Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Debt Free Me. My name is Yana and I'm on a debt-free journey. In today's video, I am going to be reviewing my week 1 spending for my January's paycheck. I normally start off at my expense tracker with these types of videos. However, I did make some adjustment to my spending plan that I want to share first. So with my savings, I did decide to make a Christmas sinking fund category, and I did budgeted $60 towards it. But as you can see, I did not put that money there. And the reason being is because I had a housewarming get together to go to on Saturday. And in my spending plan, I had no money set aside for a gift. So instead of putting that $60 in the Christmas fund, I made a miscellaneous category and I put that $60 here. And this is where I spent the money for the housewarming gift. Let's hop into this weekly spending. My paycheck did come in on December 23rd, and I did have a no spend day. So yay me. And on the 24th, I did go fill up my car. So this came from my car gas category, and that came up to $36. My husband went to Food Lion to get some items for something he wanted to make for Christmas dinner. So this came from the food category, and that came up to $95.57. On Christmas Day, it is a family tradition to order Chinese food. So we had Chinese and Thai food, and it was great. So we went to a Thai restaurant and spent $34.29. We also went to a Chinese restaurant called OK Asian, and that came up to $27.02. And those, of course, came from my takeout categories. So on the 26th, it was time to go food shopping and fill up the house. So we went to H Mart, and I did buy a few items for $15.68, and that came from the food category. In that same run at H Mart, I decided to treat myself to a mozzarella Korean corn dog, and I took that from the takeout category, and that was $9.74. We also went to Aldi and spent $65.75. Went to Food Lion, spent a total of $92.93. Went to Wegmans and spent $66.89. And then also went to BJ's and spent $118.29. And of course, all 4 of those transactions came from my food category. And on the 27th, here's that housewarming gift I was telling you about that came from my miscellaneous fund for $18.06. So in total for this week, I spent $580.22. So for my expenses remaining check-in, this is where I see how much money I have left remaining to spend out of all of my categories. So for my food category, I have $287.63 left to spend. Now I did have $742.74 because I had $42 in rollover, and then I actually gave myself $700 for the month for food. But as you can see, with food shopping, it has been depleted quite a bit. So I'm going to keep an eye on this to see if this money will last us for the next 3 weeks. And if it doesn't, that's no problem. I can always move some things around within my spending plan, because one thing I'm not going to play about is making sure my family has food to eat. So we'll keep an eye on this category. In my hair account, I did have $60.80 left to roll over from last month, and I gave myself $250. So that totaled $310.80. For my daughter account, there was no rollover. I gave her $200 to spend, and that's what I have. We haven't spent any money from that category. For my car gas fund, there was no rollover, and I gave myself $125, and so I do have 89 cents left there to spend. For my household, there was no rollover, but I did give myself $125 for the month of January, and I still have $125 left to spend. For my takeout, there was no rollover. I did give myself $150 to include that Christmas dinner, and now I have $78.95 left to spend there. For my massage, there was no rollover, but I did give myself $110, and I have not spent any money from this category. For medical, again, no rollover, but I did give myself $100, and that's what I have left to spend. And then for the gym, no rollover, but I did put the $79 up in case I wanted to renew that gym membership. So I have not spent that money yet. I still have $79 to spend. And last but not least, I have my miscellaneous account. There was no rollover balance, and I did give myself the $60, and I now have $41.94 left to spend. So that's all I have for this weekly spending, and I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.